CGI is getting worse is probably the most ignorant opinion right now. See, I can't fault someone for thinking this if the only thing they watch is superhero movies or even Hollywood blockbusters. This statement will typically refer to The Flash and comparing it with Pirates of the Caribbean 2. I think people forget how amazing the CGI was in Dune Part 2. Whether or not you liked the creator, the CGI was very well done. 1917 was also an incredible movie with both a combination of practical and visual effects. And without a doubt, there's Avatar: The Way of Water with top-tier CGI effects. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes came out this year as well. But people still want to believe CGI is getting worse. The reality is, every year there are good movies and bad movies. It wasn't better back in the day either. There were movies like Lawnmower Man. This came out in the 90s, and on top of that, this movie came out a year after Terminator 2. There's also Spawn.
If you won't lead my army, then you must die.
Air Force One. The Langoliers. And the Mortal Kombat movie.
I can feel it.
Now, you can make an argument that it just didn't age well because of the technology at the time, but when you compare these to the best of that time, you can see what's more artistically driven. Like, Jurassic Park is a great movie, but not all the CGI holds up as well anymore. In fact, the movie is great because it was well directed, not just because the CGI was good. It was a very artistically driven CGI, especially with the limits that they had back then. The reason people believe the misconception that CGI is getting worse is because we fondly remember these older films back in the day as great movies, but we forget about the bad ones with terrible CGI. I never heard anyone recommend Lawnmower Man to me. However, there is a problem with CGI that is affecting movies today, and it's that CGI isn't being used as much as an art style, but more of a we'll fix it in post kind of tool. CG artists aren't even given enough time to work on one shot. The reason a lot of CG shots will look bad today, especially from a big budget film, is due to time. If not that, then it's an issue of skill, but I highly doubt that's the problem. Corridor Crew made a video on the very subject of CGI and time, so I highly recommend you watch that video. I'll leave a link to it, actually. I find it insane how CG artists have such little time and don't get paid enough to work on these movies, yet studios pay actors millions of dollars to be in the movie. So this myth that CGI is getting worse isn't true at all. I haven't even talked about CG animated films or even independent movies, and I haven't even talked about what they do on YouTube. There's some fantastic CG shots on YouTube that typically are made by one guy. The simple answer is there's good effects and bad effects every year, no matter what year it is.